Hey guys, so it's kind of hard to believe, but Jurassic Park was released 30 years ago this month. Damn, I'm old. There's nothing that I can really say about this classic movie that hasn't already been said 10 times over, so I've decided to do a ranking of all 6 movies, yes, I'm including the Jurassic World ones, from best to worst. Number 1, obviously, Jurassic Park. Again, nothing I could say about this movie that hasn't been said already. It's an absolute masterpiece. The CGI effects, for the most part, have aged insanely well, particularly the T-Rex. You watch that to this day, you still get shivers down your spine because Spielberg was smart and he blended animatronics almost seamlessly with really what was at the time a brand new technology, but he was smart in filming it in the rain at night. The blend of the practical and the digital effects were just masterful, even by today's standards. My second favorite in the franchise is The Lost World Jurassic Park. Now, I understand that a lot of people, the first Jurassic World is their favorite sequel, and I do respect that opinion, but The Lost World, you really have to give credit where credit is due. Spielberg went out of his way to take a complete and total risk and make a movie that was completely different from the first one. It does have some flaws. I mean, I think that the Sarah Harding character, as much as I like Julianne Moore, I think the Sarah Harding character was kind of a moron. There's some tongue-in-cheekery more towards the end of the movie. Yes, there is that 10-second sequence where the girl does the gymnastics and knocks the raptor out the side of the building. I can't defend that. That was dumb. But it's like there's a lot of movies out there that have that one really outlandishly stupid scene that it's easy to overlook, considering that you're dealing with a 2-hour and 9-minute movie. The ending with the T-Rex just wreaking havoc on San Diego, absolutely classic, like cranked it up a notch, and it was a good sequel. Spielberg, you know, he wanted to make a good movie that stood out on its own, and in my opinion, he succeeded. Number 3 on my list, the original Jurassic World, or Jurassic Park 4, depending upon how you want to look at it. I like this movie's examination of what it might have been like if they had actually opened Jurassic Park. The characters are pretty good. Having Chris Pratt as a leading man, Owen, like, you really can never go wrong with that. He's Mr. Charisma in and of himself. The dinosaur effects were pretty good. I do have to say that I wish that it hadn't been like all CGI. They didn't feel as real as they did in the original Jurassic Park movies. Like, they should have spared no expense, frankly. But the fact that they introduced the first like mutant hybrid dinosaur, I mean, that was the next logical step. And the Indominus Rex was a very imposing monster of a freaking creature. The ending, as like over the top as it was a lot of fun. It really gave us an inside look to something that we'd never seen before, and I think that it came around at the right time after about like, I mean, what was it, 14 years? Yeah, people were ready for another Jurassic Park movie, so it was decent enough for what it was. 4th place would probably be, for me, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. There are some issues with this movie. I don't like the fact that they essentially erased the concept of Isla Sorna. I think they make one reference to it, like that it got taken out in a hurricane. I don't remember. I'd have to watch the movie again, but I thought it was kind of dumb how they just left that island completely like out of the movie. I don't really like Claire's character in this. It's not that I don't like Claire's character in this, it's that I think that the 180 that she pulls is just out of nowhere. There's one scene in Jurassic World that makes you think, okay, she's stepping down from being the corporate bitch and she sees these animals as actual living creatures. There's a difference between that and going like full up environmental activist. I just feel like they just took a sharp left on that one and not in a particularly good way. Again, there were kind of a lack of practical effects in it, which I do really miss. There are some really obvious sort of callbacks to the first movies, like, you know, just nostalgia bait for the sake of being nostalgia bait. I mean, the pacing of the movie is pretty good. The Indoraptor actually is my favorite creation of any of the Jurassic World movies. It was a really creepy creature, and the whole final act that took place in the mansion was good. I'd say that there was a bit of a stretch with John Hammond's partner. They added like all this stuff that it's like, wow, how come there was no mention of this in any of the other films? If you're willing to suspend disbelief and you go out and you watch the movie, it is entertaining. Like I said, it has good pacing, and you do still have like Chris Pratt leading the parade on the whole thing, and again, he's Mr. Charisma, so a lot of fun, not a particularly good movie. 5th place, we have Jurassic World Dominion. Now, I was really tussling with myself to see if I wanted this one or Fallen Kingdom to go to the second to the last, but if you had a gun to my head and you said pick one of these movies to watch right now, I would say Fallen Kingdom because of the pacing. Jurassic World Dominion is way too freaking long. And there's an extended cut out there that I still have not seen. It is too damn long. That's not to say that it doesn't have its merits. I like the idea of incorporating the character of Dachshund again. You know, it actually kind of makes sense and serves as a great bookend. I love the fact that the Dilophosaurs are in it. I think, and this is a very important thing, I think that they did right by some of the characters. There were some storylines that got screwed up along the way that I feel that they fixed in this one. And also, not for nothing, it was kind of what all the Jurassic films seemed to be building up to, that one day this was just going to go totally ape shit and everything was going to break loose and mankind was going to live to regret it. I like all those things, but the movie is too damn long. It's really like beyond check your brain at the door, like with all the action sequences and stuff like that. And again, the pacing wasn't as good. There was a lot of action in it, but the pacing wasn't as good just because of the sheer length. I don't understand what it is with this modern thing with movies where they all have to exceed 2.5 hours. It's just ridiculous. Also, I didn't give a shit about the new dinosaur, the Gigantophagophrybosis fartapod thing. It was like Indominus Rex, but bigger. Woo! And of course, you have your generic ass ending with the two big dinosaurs fighting one another. It's like, okay, all right, yeah. It had its merits, but not objectively really a good movie. And number 6, the absolute worst Jurassic Park movie, in my opinion, again, Jurassic Park 3. It's dumb. One thing that can be said for it is that at least it has a tight runtime. It has the opposite problem of the previous one on my list. It feels like a Sci-Fi Pictures Originals. And if it were a Sci-Fi Pictures original, I'd be like, you know what? That was a pretty solid movie. I could watch that many times. And I can watch it many times. It does have rewatchability. But here's the problem. It's not a Sci-Fi Pictures original. It's a friggin' Jurassic Park movie. First of all, the Spinosaurus, the design for it was really cool, but the actual, like, animal itself and the way it acts and moves, it doesn't come across like an animal. It comes across just as like a mindless killing machine. Like the T-Rex in the first Jurassic Park, when it like lowers its head and the light is in its eye and the pupil contracts, that was cool. I saw a living, breathing, imposing thing. The Spinosaurus was just like, Rah! The stupid plot with the characters right from the get-go. For those of you who've seen it, you know what I'm talking about, but what they did to the characters right in the beginning of the movie, it's like, why? It was dumb, it was stupid, it just felt like depressing slightly. I will spoil the ending for Jurassic Park 3, so if you haven't seen it, tiptoe out. It's really so bad that I have to mention it directly. So they make it to the freaking beach, and then it looks like freaking D-Day. Like the United States government just sent like tanks and like amphibious vehicles rolling up on Isla Sorna. And it's just like to save them. Dr. Grant? And it was all because they called Ellie on a satellite phone. How? They were trespassing. Isla Sorna was owned by Costa Rica. The Costa Rican government said, this is a no-fly zone, you're trespassing, don't get it. Like, did we just invade them? Was Ellie blowing the president or something like that? How does that work? Did they contact the friggin' Costa Rican government and they were like, oh, no, sorry, you cannot come to the island. Oh, ¿eres Sadler? Oh, chupa la penga del presidente. Sí, you come to the island. What the fuck? And then the dumb kid, obnoxious character. Wow, you have to thank her now. Oh, God. It's really dumb ending. And then Billy's magically alive. Everybody makes it out of that movie alive. It is the most PG-rated Jurassic Park movie. There's virtually no gore. It was horrible. I hate that movie. I hate that movie. I do enjoy watching it. It has a tight runtime. And there's a lot of dino action. So it's fun. But objectively, oh God, it's horrible. It's a horrible movie. Anyways, that's my list. What did you guys think about the Jurassic Park / Jurassic World movies? Comment below with your list, all right? And we'll have ourselves a little discussion. All right, guys. That's all she wrote.